Yo, what's up, world? So, in today's episode, let's talk about the rejections that I have received so far from Apple and how I solved them. And yeah, so I have made my final submission today and I have received close to 5 rejections from Apple. So, let's go over them step by step and I'll guide you through on how you can avoid the same rejections on your end as well in case you decide to launch one day. So, yeah, let's dive right in. I prepared a docs, so at least we can go through this. So the first submission I made, that was earlier this month. I received an email and a rejection from Apple. The reason they told me was that the data collection and storage was not correct. This was because I was requesting location data from my user, and the location data had the wrong button. It was saying next instead of continue. So Apple has really strict rules that you need to follow. So the button needed to say continue instead of next. Needed to say continue or next instead of enable. Yeah, so make sure when you are requesting for permission from an Apple device, make sure you use continue or next. Then the same thing was happening for notification. I was notifications, and as well as I was also not providing a clear message on why I needed notification data. So I solved this by in my configuration file, ensuring that I have properly given the reason why I needed the location data. Then the next one was preamble design from Apple. So the reason was I had used a wrong logo, a wrong Apple logo. So it had a white background and the Apple logo was white as well. But I needed an Apple logo that was black or didn't have a background. So kindly make sure you check on that. That is on the sign in with Apple button. So that is also something you need to check. Apple has a principle. You need to put the Apple logo, then sign in with Apple. So check with that next time. So that was, and finally, they wanted more information about my app. I have features that require payment, so they wanted to know my business model, how I'd make money from the app, and yeah, if I had any other purchase screen that was outside the application. Definitely, I didn't. I clarified that with them, and my app. I submitted another app for another bundle for review, and yeah, it was reviewed and it was rejected. For this second rejection, it was a really long process. It had to do with in-app purchases. So one issue I have noted, RevenueCat does not really have proper documentation when it comes to React Native and launching on Sandbox and yeah, and just stuff like that. So I had not yet. Let us look into the error. It's telling me that I have a purchase screen outside. Yeah, the paid, we can read it. Your app accesses digital content outside the app, but that content isn't available to purchase using in-app purchase. So this one, I hadn't submitted the in-app purchases on RevenueCat. It was saying missing metadata as well as the in-app purchase subscription section. So that I solved by making sure that we have localization in the app, and in the in-app section we have uploaded screenshots of how our paywall will look like. Yeah, and a description on your paywall. And yeah, so they say it's optional, but I have seen that you need to put it, though my app isn't approved, but at least it changed from missing metadata to ready to submit. Then that was the only issue on the second upload. So after this was done, they finally were able to access my app and have a look at it. I can say they had finished the onboarding process over here. So the next page, that was the third rejection. Still the same issue, the 3.11 in-app purchase. So this issue was a really big issue with RevenueCat. And I should mention this, make sure that you test your app on Sandbox before you submit it to review. And RevenueCat doesn't do enough work in teaching you how to deploy on Sandbox. I'll just repeat it. So before you deploy in Sandbox, there are a few things you need to know. You need to have completed and signed the paid user agreement. You need to have uploaded your bank details, and you also need to have uploaded your tax information. So that is important, like 100% important before you try out Sandbox. It took me a really long time to figure that out. And yeah, when I uploaded my tax information and my bank account within less than 24 hours, that was done, and I was able to test for in-app purchases, and that was solved. Uh, then the next issue was app performance completed. This I still hadn't known about the paid user. So previously I submitted without signing the paid user agreement, thinking that it was done, and thinking that because it works on RevenueCat test 2, now it will work on Sandbox. It wasn't working, so I didn't know the issue. So app completeness, the paywall was not fetching the offering and the listings. Thus my app didn't provide a good experience to the tester, and it was rejected. So I finally solved that by making sure that my in-app purchase works. I updated all the paid user agreement license, I updated the EULA, I updated the privacy policy, and yeah, and I just made sure that the in-app purchase screen works and the paywall works in the paywall works in the sandbox as well. And when I submitted, that passed. And yeah, the screenshots I was receiving next was the screenshots of my application. And then this brings me to today's rejection. I have already solved it and I have submitted a new review. But today's rejection was since my application needs location data. Although the location data is not used primarily or sent to anybody, it's stored within the application and only used to send notifications to you according to your time. When a user does not agree, it kept on persisting. So I say do not allow, then it persists. So that creates a really bad user experience. So that was today's rejection. So I have submitted the last, hopefully, and yeah, let's see how it will go. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's review, and yeah, adios. See you on day 3. Not day 3, yeah, the third video, but I'm not even sure what we'll talk about. We'll know later, guys.